Bienvenidos a Esperanza Vence, donde la esperanza vence. Welcome to Esperanza Vence, where hope wins. How are you? Fine? That's what we used to say when we were little, like learning how to talk. Like my mom would be like, how are you? And I would say, fine. Pretty much that what it boils down to, huh? All right, we're pulling in the energies for the 2nd of July, 2025. El 2 de julio, en el año de nuestro Dios, 2025. Y si quiere, pues, apúntate y vamos a leer las cartas por ti. Yo puedo hacerlo virtualmente o en vivo. If you'd like to hit the links below, I can do virtual readings or live if you're around here being Wisconsin-ish. Nothing jumps, so we're going to just go ahead and pray. Okay, thank you for fine-tuning your free will and intuition with me. Near past, present tense, near future. Death in the near past. The Hermit, present tense. And the Wheel of Fortune in the near future? We kind of got a powerful reading today for Mercury Day, miércoles, Wednesday, depending on how you say it. Okay, here we go. Death is really heavy Scorpio energy. You know, the planet Pluto rules over death in the tarot. And, you know, whenever we see like a white rose in the tarot, this represents purity. This, you know, and so there is this sense of like, you know, this is not evil. This is a purification process, you know, but people fear death. Even the Hierophant, even the, you know, even the holy person fears death, right? And it comes for everybody, young, old, doesn't discriminate. So if you can think of scorpionic energy has to do with the death and rebirth process, right? Sometimes just the death, sometimes just the shedding. So what's going on with the planet Pluto right now? Well, it's opposing, or it's just coming off of a pretty tight opposition with Mercury. Actually, and today is Mercury Day. So here in the near past, we had that Pluto energy coming through really strongly, and we might have had to really recognize areas in our life where we needed to pivot, shed some skin, you know, molt a little bit, reprocess, and then try again when the sun rises. The sun is rising back here between the two pillars of knowledge, Boaz and Joachim. Now, don't you recognize those from the moon card? So in the moon card, we're on the other side of this, about to follow our path through our intuitive knowledge, and the sun is rising. So something is becoming clear. Or maybe the sun is setting. Maybe something is, like I said before, being... this looks like more of a dawn to me, though, than it looks like a sunset. Because sunsets to me are like pink and purple and stuff. I feel like the sun is rising in the background after this purification process. The Hermit is that number 9 energy. You know I love my 9s. This is a solitary energy. This is the path that is chosen. It's not given, it's chosen. Someone chooses to become a hermit. It doesn't just happen. Well, yeah, it really doesn't just happen. This is a choice. This person went into the cave on purpose. They climbed the mountaintop and they took that time of solitude. Now, someone can become a hermit, in earthly terms, like for you and me. Hermit can represent being single. If you're taking this reading as a romance reading for today, for the 2nd of July, 2025, or whatever day you happen to click on this video, because this video, you can like randomly click on these videos. I'll put the playlist up somewhere. I'll put the playlist for the Quick Hits Tarot. And you know what? You can really just click on any day and see if it applies to you. If you just hit shuffle, maybe a reading will come up that'll apply to your day. But I'm reading for the 2nd of July. Or whenever you happen to find this video, I suppose. The Hermit card is long earned. Okay, this is not somebody who is youthful. This is someone who is all the way graduated to their elder or their crone years. They have the light of the star inside that lantern. So they've kept their hopes alive. They've also hung on to what they were passionate about. That wand, that walking stick, the wand has turned into a walking stick now, because the hermit has spent a long time in solitude and contemplation. Now, this can represent spending a long time studying something, perfecting a craft that you don't necessarily do with other people. This can be taking time to yourself to find the light that you have inside. And then when you're illuminated, like the hermit is, now is the time to make the choice. Are they going to go back down the mountain and share this light with others? Maybe in a teaching capacity, or maybe just by shining their light so that others can see down the path. That's up to the hermit too. Wheel of Fortune in the near future. This is so lucky. This is when your pull tabs win at the bar. This is when you're sitting on top of the wheel. The wheel just keeps turning and turning. That's just life. But sometimes you're on the top of the wheel and sometimes you're on the bottom of the wheel. But either way, you always have these elements at your disposal, and you always have these 4 elements like looking over you, okay? So the Leo, fire, the Taurus, earth, the Scorpio, water, eagle, and Aquarius, the human, the humanity, the care for humanity, And as the wheel turns, we bump into different things. You know what I mean? And once again, I'm curious as to what these actual symbols all represent. See, I've been reading tarot for 20 years, but there's a lot for me to still learn. I'm still hermiting. I'm still learning, but I've gotten to the point where I feel comfortable reading it, these little quick hits, and just trying to get a vibe for me and you. No one ever asked me to be a scholar, but now that I am getting to a point to where I kind of might want to come down the mountain and share my knowledge with people, I am going to study more, because I was just talking to somebody today, and I'm formulating a class. It's a beginner class, but just because it's beginner class doesn't mean that I don't want to exhaust my knowledge and exhaust my resources. So I'm looking forward to learning more about the tarot. I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your journey. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me for your quick hit Monday through Friday. Love you, bye.